Oh my god! It's like, whoa, what's going on here? A little sexual all of a sudden. Weeb, very much so. I'm in my weeb phase right now. Anime Wednesdays, yep, yeah, I know it's crazy, yeah, so people don't know. For the longest time, typically every Wednesday, although there are exceptions. Sometimes I had to move it around, move it to a different day, or it might be a week where I was just so overwhelmed with stuff or new releases or, personal things, what have you. But for the longest time, pretty much every Wednesday, I've been doing reviews for Yu Yu Hakusho. I recently, last week, just finished Yu Yu Hakusho, Season 4, Episode 18. Saying goodbye to all these characters. And the person that made that a possibility for me to review that was Glee, through Glee's very generous donation. But now, we are now moving on to 2 new animes that I'll be reviewing for the foreseeable future. Madoka Magica and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, I'm not reviewing JoJo today just because I just ran out of time and I didn't want to rush or delay the stream any more than I've already delayed it, obviously. And so I'll most likely be doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on Thursday or Friday of this specific week. Although I'm hoping that on Wednesdays, typically I'll be able to review both back to back. I think that'll be very fun. And the person who has made this review series a possibility is Dat Chicken Wayne Isaac Stevenson, who has been a very generous member of our community, obviously. And Isaac Dat Chicken Wayne, I know he is a big anime fan, and he has actually suggested animes for me to watch and do also audio commentaries on. And for the longest time, I was doing this one audio-video commentary series for an anime called Made in Abyss, which I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with, but and I was not when I first started watching it. Kind of cool. It started off very wholesome, almost kind of slightly influenced by Studio Ghibli Miyazaki. Certainly when it came to its aesthetic and backgrounds and stuff and environments. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. These kids are there would be archaeologists, anthropologists. This is very wholesome. One of the little archaeologist, anthropologist girls, she finds a little robo boy, and they go on an adventure, and then oh my god, and then it just becomes body horror. It just becomes the body horror anime, and it's scary. It's uncomfortable. There's a lot of horrible, violent things that happen to children. And it's you have to know what you're. There he is. There's the guy. There's that chicken wing. You got to prepare yourself to watch Made in Abyss. Now, I recently started my Madoka Magica adventure. I have done audio commentary for this series a little ways back. You can watch my Episode 1 review. I am reviewing Madoka Magica Episode 1 today. But from here on out, I'll be doing the rest of the series as well. The first, I think it's right now, it's only 1 season. There could be more seasons for all I know. But this is a whole new adventure. The thing is, though, this episode, it gets kind of weird, but I'm just waiting for it to get, really fucked up like Made in Abyss, because Isaac likes to suggest a lot of fucked up anime like Made in Abyss, and also those hentai animes that I've done reviews for and audio commentaries for. Wicked City, which was entertaining, and Demon City. So I'm just expecting some weird-ass shit to happen in Madoka Magica, chap. My friends, let's go ahead and move on to my review for Madoka Magica, Episode 1, my scene by scene breakdown, chat. And we start by following an anime schoolgirl. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And we're following her, chat, as she's running through pretty much like a checkered, monochromatic world. It's no matter where she looks, she's going she has kind of that anime schoolgirl run where it's oh, Jesus Christ, oh, doing that. Everything's flopping on her. Everything's just flopping. Her limbs are flopping, chat. Her legs feel like they're about to give out any minute, right? And she's running through what looks like this large interior of some type of building, but it's mostly checkered. It's all in black and white. It's very monochromatic. She's like, oh my god, how the hell do I get out of here? I don't know. And eventually she comes to an exit. She sees this door. It's the one thing that's not monochromatic, that's not black and white. It's green above, and it says exit. I mean, it has the Japanese squiggles. I don't speak squiggles, but thankfully I watched the dub version. and it said exit. I was like, thank God, because if I was that girl, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck that means. That's the one thing. If you're trapped in a weird fantasy like world and you see like a door, is that door the exit, or is there a door to other hellscape and other abomination creatures? I don't fucking know. But I don't speak squiggles, but thankfully this girl does, and the dub did say this is an exit. So she goes through said squiggle door, and she goes outside, and the world is in ruin. It's like, I should have known. I mean, she is outside of the Madoka Magica hellscape, but she has entered a much larger, wider hellscape. And she seems to be like above it all. Like she enters and it's like, she realizes that the exit, it's attached to like this giant all black tree and everything. It has these like leafless limbs and stuff. And she sees all these buildings and things like floating around. It's kind of like that scene in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, when the world clearly ended and now just pieces and chunks of it are just floating around like this. And it's like, this is pretty fucked up. But she observes a black-haired anime schoolgirl fighting against some sort of, you can't really make it out, but for right now, I'm going to say it's like some sort of cosmic entity, right? And she's doing all of her like anime school fighting poses. She's blasting it like, doing all that shit, right? It's like, whoa, right? And then, our girl who we've been following for the most part, she is just standing there just watching this, and then suddenly this little cat just shows up. This little cat just shows up, and it's like, this thing is going to be way too much for her. And our main girl we've been following, it's like, oh, Jesus, what the hell are you? It's like, it's not important. It's not important. All I'm saying is, what she's fighting right now, it's too much for her. But here's the thing, Madoka is like, oh, we learned that the girl's name is Madoka. This is Madoka Magica, Chad. Okay, so the main character's name is in the title. Very nice, very nice. We're learning a lot so far. About this anime girl. And the little demon cat says, like, listen, this battle that she's dealing with, the cosmic entity, way too much for her, but you have the power. And she's like, me? Yes, you have the power to change it, to change the course of this battle and save her. So are you going to be fucking useful and do this? And she's like, I just don't know. It's just a lot. I'm very overwhelmed. And he's like, listen, just swear your soul to me. Just sign a contract with me, okay? And just shake my hand, or my paw in this case, and I will make you a magic girl. And it's like, holy shit. Well, I mean, I don't even know who the hell this girl is or what she's fighting. I don't know. You're the first time I've ever seen you little magic demon cat. And now this little magic demon cat's literally talking shit to me, and it's promising me magic powers, but I gotta sign over my soul to it? It's like, that's a lot. And good old Madoka, she's like, I don't know, I'm just so confused. And then she wakes up. Don't worry, chat. It was just a dream. She's like, oh, Jesus. Oh my God, that was so scary. Oh, what a crazy nightmare. And then we kick into the anime opening. And to give you an idea of what this series looks like, I want to go ahead and I want to show you the anime opening in case you guys are like confused. Because like, Chris, that's a lot at once. You talk about a monochromatic world. You're talking about a weird hellscape where buildings fall all over the place. Talking about an anime girl fighting against some sort of cosmic enemy. And that was a demon cat that wants, to have this girl sign over her soul so she can become a magical girl, Madoka Magica. I'm just like, yeah, it's confusing. It's overwhelming. But I'm going to show you the intro because then you'll understand why. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you, chat. You're welcome. It has a much longer title. I'm going to call it Madoka Magica. A lot easier to say. Hell fucking yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, chat, okay? That's what I'm watching. That's what I'm reviewing. That gives you but a taste of the magical world of Madoka Magica. But we then cut back after that wonderful anime opening, and we're in front of this very asymmetrical house. It's so asymmetrical that it really makes me uncomfortable just looking at it, chat. It's that kind of modern architecture that it's just like, this just feels kind of cold. This feels kind of cold and lifeless and not warm. But we cut inside the asymmetrical house, and there's like little garden area in the backyard, and we have a stay-at-home dad. It's Madoka Magica's dad. He's a stay-at-home dad, and he makes like food for everybody. He's breakfast dad for right now. It's pretty much all he does in this episode. He makes breakfast. He does it very well, in my opinion. But he's like cutting some fresh vegetables from the garden, chat. Some fresh like onions and shit. He gets some cherry tomatoes for like that. He's gonna mix up the eggs, and it's like that just looks goddamn good. That looks wonderful. And our little girl, our anime girl, she walks in, and he's like, "Oh, good morning, honey." And she's like, hi, Dad." And then she's like, "Oh, Madoka, is your mother up?" And then we're like, "Oh, it's Madoka." And she's like, "No." He's like, "I'll go wake Mom up." And I guess the mom was sleeping in. Mom is not a morning person, by the way. And we find out that Madoka, she has a little brother. I don't know what his name is yet, but he is literally on top of the mom. He's like a toddler. He's like, I don't know, like 2 years old. And he is like, "Mommy, wake up. Mommy, wake up." Just pounding on her head. And she's like, nothing, no response. I'm thinking, that mom's dead. She's dead. Here's the tragic background, chat. The thing is, though, Madoka, she's done this before of her mother. And what she does is, like, opens the door, boom, slams it, goes over to the curtains. And this is like one of those weird glass houses. You guys ever seen 13 Ghosts? Not a good movie. But the whole house is like, it's just windows. Everything's windows. And she throws open the shutters, throws open the curtains, and sunlight just, the mom's like, like the sunlight, it burns us. It burns us, right? But the mom, she's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" She's like, "Mom, you got to get ready for work," because Mom is the bread maker, Chad, okay? She's the breadwinner of the family. She's like, "Okay." And this is kind of nice, though. This is kind of sweet because the mom and the daughter, they get ready for their days together, right? And this is also a time, I guess, because maybe the mom, she's so busy with work all the time. She doesn't have a lot of time to, like, talk to her daughter. And so they spend the morning, like, you know, kind of helping each other, putting on makeup and stuff and, and everything. And the mom is asking, so, like, how's school going right now? And Madoka's like, "Oh, it's going really great. One of my friends got a love letter from her boyfriend." And the mom's like, "Oh, really? Really? A love letter? Oh, well, good luck to him. Good luck to him." And she's like, "What do you mean?" Well, she's like, "Well, at your age, honey, relationships are fickle. Relationships are fickle, okay? And how long is your friend and her boyfriend been together?" It's like, "Oh, I think like 2 months." She's like, "I'll give it a year. I'll give it a year. They're in the grace period right now. He'll stop sending those love letters eventually, right? That's just how it works, honey." And then the mom, she finishes up, and Mama is just, she's like Dommy office mommy, chat. She looks like really goddamn good. And she's like, "How do I look, honey?" She's like, "Mom, you look beautiful." And like the daughter, she's kind of a little bit of a mess. Not like something of a mess, but she's not like put together like the mom is. And she's like, "What about you, honey? Are you going to put some ribbons in your hair or something? You can't look sloppy. You can't look sloppy in front of the boys because you know what they're going to call you, honey?" And she's like, "What are they going to call me, Mom?" "They're going to call you Sloppy Seconds Madoka. And I can't have that. I can't have my daughter looking sloppy." And she picks out the pink bow for her because her hair is pink, so it kind of matches. And she's like, "And the boys will love it. They'll like it a lot, and they'll like you. And then soon my daughter, she'll be getting love letters, and then you'll get a boyfriend, and then you will get married, and you'll have children, and then you'll become a Dommy office mommy just like Mama." And she's like, "Yay!" And so then it's breakfast time. Everyone's eating breakfast. But by the way, the dad made a great looking breakfast, but it looks beautiful. He made some fluffy scrambled eggs. He's got a nice side of cherry tomatoes, both that are fresh, but he's also roasted some of the cherry tomatoes, which is very nice. I'm like, that's a good fucking breakfast. I'm on dad's side at this point. It looks really cool. Mom's like, "I gotta go to work." And Dad's like, honey, do you need any more coffee? She's like, better not. Don't want to have the shits on the way to work. And so what she does is she goes up to the husband, gives him a nice little smooch on the lips. Says, mwah. She kisses her son, who is having a hard time eating cherry tomatoes, and he's just stabbing this fork, but like he has like that little baby plastic fork, so literally not getting any food into his mouth whatsoever. And then she high fives her daughter, so that's how she expresses her love to her daughter. High five, and they high five. And the dad's like, honey, are you going to be late for school? She's like, oh my God, I am. And then she's like a little gremlin, like a little Schmeagol gremlin. She wolves down her food, and she runs out the door, and she meets up with her friends. And she has two friends that we meet at first, chat. One's name is Sayaka. I think her name is Sayaka Miki. And the other one is Yotomi. Now, Sayaka Miki, she's a little rambunctious. She's got a lot of sass to her, chat, right? She's got like a big personality. She'll speak her mind. That's what she's all about. She's got blue hair. So that's how you're going to remember her. Yotomi's like more laid back. Apparently, like she comes from money. She comes from wealth. She has like greenish hair. And she's a little more just kind of vibing, you know. She's not really putting herself out there, but she's very prim and proper, right? And the Sayaka, her whole thing is like, so what advice did your mom give you today? Did she finally tell you the secrets of how to be popular? Because apparently Madoka's mom was like the most popular girl in her school, in her high school, right? But I don't know if she shared the secrets of Madoka. Madoka pretty much says, like, I don't know, she just told me like how to like get boys' attention by like wearing ribbons and shit. And I'm like, oh, what kind of ribbons did she tell you? And they start talking about ribbons and everything. And you know, and Sayaka doesn't believe her, and she like puts her in her headlock. He's like, you just gotta tell us, okay? We gotta like ask your mom how we can look cute so we can get the attention of boys. And Yotomi's just like, I don't care. I'm all about my studies. I'm all about trying to be prim and proper and to impress my parents. I'm like, you're pretty fucking sus, Yotomi. I'm gonna say it right now, like, Sayaka, like, she's sassy, she's tough, a little rough around the edges, but there's no doubt that she's good friends of Madoka. Like, they're kind of yin and yang, right? They're a bit different personalities, but there's a lot about them that, you know, like, okay, no, these two vibe together, and they like each other, right? Even if Sayaka might be a little rough around the edges. Something about Yotomi's just like, something's wrong with you. I don't know what it is, but it's weirding me out a little bit, and we'll see. We'll see in later episodes if something happens. But I was like, you were too easygoing. You're just too discreet about yourself. I'm like, there's something about you. Anyway. We then cut to the class, and we were introduced to their teacher, or one of their teachers, homeroom teacher, and the teacher has some fucking issues. The teacher suddenly starts going on about, all right, boys and girls, in order to be a proper wife, and like everyone's talking about how to be a proper girl, a proper wife, proper, you know, whatever, proper mother, you know, you're gonna have to learn how to cook eggs correctly, all right? Oh, whether you be a good wife or a good husband. She picks on this one boy. She's like, how do you cook eggs correctly? Is it sunny side up or sunny side down? What's the proper way to fry an egg? And the kid's like, I mean, either or, it doesn't really matter as long as the egg's fried. And she's like, correct. Thank you for standing up to me. That's very good. And everyone's like, what the fuck's her deal? And I'm like, we don't fucking know. And the teacher's, I don't know, something's wrong with her too. Something's a little messed up with the teacher. She has like these mood swings because suddenly her whole personality changes after talking about a fried egg. And she's like, and now this morning class, I'm like, okay, I want to introduce you to a new student who's joining us in the middle of the semester. And everyone's like, oh, cool, who's the new student going to be? I hope it's a boy so they can play sports. I hope it's a new girl so then we can be best friends. And the person who joins the class chat, her name, the teacher's like, I want you all to give a warm welcome to Hamura Akemi. And it's the girl from the dream. It's the black-haired girl from Madoka's dream, chat. And Madoka's like, oh my fucking God, that's the girl from my dream. And she like can't believe it. And Hamura Akemi, good old Miss Akemi, she introduces herself. She's like, hello everyone, my name is Hamura Akemi. I am literally better than all of you. And she is, by the way. She is the best. She's just great. Everyone's just infatuated with her. Like, all the girls want to be her and all the boys want to be with her, chat. She's just really well put together. And, like, yeah, before the end of homeroom, all these girls crowd around her. They start asking her all these questions like, where are you from? Where's the school you used to go to? And she's like, I used to go to a Catholic school where we loved Jesus. If you will excuse me, I'm starting to feel ill. You're crowding me. I need to find the nurse's aide. And they're like, well, we'll escort you to the nurse. She's like, no. I want to find the nurse's aide, all right? Back the fuck off. Everyone's like, okay, Mr. Kemi. And she goes to Madoka because we learned that Madoka, chat, she is the nurse's aide, even though no one fucking told Homura that, right? So that's a little weird. And she's like, Madoka? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, are you the nurse's aide? She's like, I am. She's like, I'm going to throw up. Can you take me to the nurse? And she's like, sure. And so then Madoka starts escorting her to the nurse. But Homura Akemi, she seems to know exactly where she's going. She knows, like, every corner to turn, knows which hallway to go down. And even Madoka, she's like, you seem to know where you're going. I'm just kind of confused as to why you even need me. And she's just like, you know what? You don't have to call me. Just before we continue this conversation onwards, you can just call me Homura. You don't have to call me Miss Akemi. That's okay. Okay, it just seemed like, like really put together. You kind of have that, like, Dommy office mommy energy. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I don't know. It's just it's my mom. She kind of has that, she's put, well put together. She's like, And she's like, and then she stops as they keep walking, and Madoka's just going on and on and on. And we cut to Homura's face, and she's just getting increasingly just like a little, she's like, at one point we cut, and she's like, She's just looking at Madoka like, I'm judging you. I was like, that's a little weird. And Madoka, she keeps going on and on and on until eventually Homura's like, all right, stop. And she's like, I want to ask you something, Madoka. And she's like, okay, sure. And she's like, I want to ask you, do you treasure your family and your friends? And she's like, are they the most important thing in your life? And she's like, well, yeah, would you not want to change any aspect of your life so you could ensure that they will always be protected and never put in harm's way? And she's like, well, yeah, I would never want to change my life if, I would never change it if that means that they would be put in danger. She's like, good, don't. From here on out, I don't want you to make any specific changes in your life. Continue to live your mundane, insipid existence, and we won't have no beef. And she's like, okay. And then she continues walking to the office, and Makeda's like, huh? Monica's like, what? Okay. And so then it's lunchtime. And then it's, even before then, we just get this Homura Akemi montage where she's the best. She's the best at math. She's the best at poetry. She's the best in gym. She's breaking every goddamn school record. And then there's just this weird cat demon. It's the weird cat demon we saw earlier. She's just watching the background, just watching her going, yeah, I see you, bitch. And it's like, what the hell's going on? It's very, very weird. And eventually we cut to the lunchroom where we have Madoka and her friends Sayaka, good old Sayaka, Mickey, and Yatomi. And they notice that Madoka is like, not really eating her food. She seems deep in thought. And they're like, what's wrong, Madoka? And she's like, yeah, it's just, Homura Akemi. And they're like, oh yeah, isn't she like the greatest thing ever to grace her school? She's like the best. And she's like, yeah, it's just a little strange. You're like, why? What's strange about her? What do you know? I saw you looking at her the whole time. Do you have a crush on her? Do you like her? She's like, no, it's nothing like that. I just recognize her. It's like, oh, do you know her from somewhere? She's like, well, you guys are gonna laugh at me. And it's like, what is it? We promise we won't laugh. And she's like, well, I had a dream last night of this black-haired girl, and it was her. It was exactly her, and she was fighting this cosmic entity. And then there was this weird demon cat who said, in order to help her, because she was like about to die and stuff, that I had to sign my soul to him, and so I can get magic girl powers. And Sayaka looks at her and goes, bah! that's funny. That's a good one. That's ridiculous. Oh, look at you. Look at you. And Yotomi's like, I have nothing to say about this conversation. I'm going to leave and go to my next class. And they're like, oh, what are you going to go and do now, Yotomi? Are you going to, is it piano class? Is it violin class? Is it chess club? She's like, no, it's tea making class because tea's a big deal in Japan. And I'm thinking like, Yotomi, you're fucking weird. Out of all the characters so far in this show, even as weird as Hamura Kemi has been, I'm thinking like, Yotomi, there's something up with you, and I don't trust you for a goddamn second. Not for a second, because you're playing it way too cool, and you're just being very nonchalant about everything. And Sayaka's like, that's lame. Hey, Madoka, let's go to the mall, all right? Let's go to the mall. Let's listen to some music and buy some, like, albums and records and shit. She's like, that sounds fun. And so they go to the mall. It's after school, right? They say goodbye to Yotomi, who I don't trust at all. And, Sayaka, she's just listening to her music. And Madoka, she comes up, she puts on these headphones, and she's vibing to some Gangnam Style, some cool shit. And all of a sudden, we just hear, help me! Oh, please help me! She's gonna fucking kill me! And she's like, Jesus, oh my God, what is this? This is like really, is this death metal music? And she's like, but as soon as she takes it off, she still hears the voice inside of her head, like, oh, this bitch is crazy, help me! And she's like, oh my God, what the hell's going on? I gotta find who's being hurt. And so she runs. And we then cut to the little demon kitty. We cut to the little demon kitty, and it seems to be like running in this section of the mall, which is all dilapidated looking, and it's being chased. We find out the little kitty cat's being chased by Hamura Kemi. It's like, ah, shit. So she is doing some weird, like, crazy witchcraft anime girl shit, right? But eventually we cut back to Madoka, who again is still hearing the voice. And I love it how it's like looks like a prototypical modern day Japanese mall. Just looks like that. And then all of a sudden, she turns a corner and she's straight up in this haunted European cathedral. It's like, oh, you went to because I guess every Japanese mall has one, a haunted European, just Catholic section. It's like, oh yeah, that's just there. And she's like, well, this doesn't seem weird. And she goes through these two doors that have upside down crosses. I'm like, that's probably not good. She goes in there. And the whole thing's dilapidated. It's where we saw Hamura chasing the little demon kitty cat, right? And she's like, she doesn't hear the voice anymore, and she's looking around. It's like, hello, is anyone hurt? I can help you. Just let me know. Just call out. My name's Madoka. Where's everybody? And then all of a sudden, she's just like shuffling above her, and then bah! The fucking kitty demon falls down right in front of her. It's all fucked up. It's bleeding. It's like its goddamn legs hanging by a thread. It's like, help me, Madoka, help me. And she's like, OMG, Jesus. And she like picks it up. He's like, kitty, what's wrong? And then Hamura Kemi just is like, put that thing down. Don't touch it. This is none of your business. I told you to live your mundane, insipid life. And she comes out of the shadows like fucking Batman. And she's like, Herman, are you Batman? Is like, I will be, and I'll punch the hell out of you. You got to put down that cat. You pretend you didn't see this. Go back to listening to Gangnam Style and all that shit, and just leave, okay? You shouldn't be in the haunted European Catholic section of the Japanese mall. And she's like, no, it was calling out for me. It's really hurt. Did you hurt it? Did you hurt this thing? And she's like, I did what needed to be done. And then all of a sudden, as soon as like Hamura Kemi, she then starts doing, it's like, you have entered a world that you cannot possibly imagine. It is beyond your imagination. It is beyond your mind. And all of a sudden, she gets immediately hit with this huge fucking jet stream of fluid from this goddamn fire extinguisher. And yay, Chad, it's Sayaka. She's there. And she's like, get away from her. And she's like, ah! And she gets hit by the fire extinguisher fluid. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you in the haunted European cathedral section of the Japanese mall? And she's like, I heard this thing call out for me. It's like, what is that? Is that a cat? She's like, I'm not sure. And so they immediately just like, you know what? No questions anymore. Let's just start running. They just start running, right? And then Homura, she recovers. She gets up. And then all of a sudden, she's like, oh, God damn it. Because she immediately starts tripping balls. Starts tripping fucking balls, chat. It's just clip art. We're literally in a clip art hellscape. We have these dandelions with mustaches. It's like, I'm gonna eat your face. And it's like, this isn't good. This is not good at all. And then eventually, Homura's like, goddamn, I gotta deal with all this. But then we cut to Sayaka, and we cut to Madoka, who was holding the little kitty whose name is Kube. His name is Kube. And he's like, my name is Kube, save me, bitches, save me. And but then they're all surrounded. They're all surrounded by the dandelions with mustaches and shit. They're like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? And there's scissors. They have scissors in their hands. They're like, we're going to stab your eyes. And it's like, oh my God. But then all of a sudden, Chad, thank God, a blonde-haired girl arrives, and she's like, oh, are you guys okay? They're like, what is happening? She's like, don't worry. Is that Kube? Is that you? She's like, yeah, it's me. She's like, cool. You just hold on to Kube. I'm going to do my Sailor Moon transformation. I'm going to clean all this shit up. And they're like, okay, that sounds good. And so she starts doing this crazy, badass anime Sailor Moon transformation, right? She's all gold and yellow because that's like her main color. And she starts fighting against all the clip art. She starts fighting against the dandelion mustache men who have scissors for hands. They're trying to stab everyone's eyeballs. And she's destroying them. She's blasting all of them. And eventually she's just like, I gotta use my super attack. And she straight up basically uses like the Jericho missile from the first Iron Man. Remember when Tony Stark, because I present to you the Jericho missile, and it fires at that entire mountainscape and just obliterates it. She pretty much does that, except it's like Sailor Moon-esque. It's pretty fucking badass, and she kills all of those mustache dandelion men with their like scissor hands. They're trying to stab eyeballs, right? And they're defeated. Thank fucking God. Whew! Homura arrives, and the blonde girl, they clearly have some beef. They clearly have some issues with each other. And the blonde hair girl is like, Herman, Kemi, have you been chasing Kube around? She's like, yeah, I have been chasing him around. She's like, listen, he's under my protection right now. Let's not fight. We know what's going to happen if we choose to fight, especially in front of civilians like this. Okay, you don't want that, right, Homura? And Homura's like, I fucking hate you. Like she was looking at her, she's like, I want to kill you so bad. She's like, yeah. I'll see you next time, bitch. And she leaves. And eventually, the blonde hair girl, whose name we don't know yet, I don't think they said their name, she then takes Sayaka and Madoka, and they go to this one little back room, this closet, and the blonde hair girl, she starts to heal Kube, and Kube's like, feels good. That feels good. Thank you. Thank you for saving me. And she's just like, why are these two girls with you? What's going on? She's like, oh. And then Madoka speaks up. And she's like, I heard his name was Kube. Kube was calling out to me, and I wanted to find him because he was in my dream. And she's like, in your dream? And Kube's like, yeah. We'll get to that later. Hey, listen, Madoka, you know what? You're great. I think you're awesome. You too, Sayaka. I think you're really cool too. Hey, I have a deal to make with you. Sign a contract with me. Just give me your souls as collateral, and I'll make you magic girls. They're like, what? And that, my friends, is my scene by scene breakdown chat to Madoka Magica episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the anime shenanigans, chat. Who's going to tell them Gundam Style is a Korean song? Can they not listen to Korean music in Japan? I don't see why not. Everyone loves fucking Gangnam Style, chat. I'm sure they love that song in Japan, too. Oh, man. But, yeah, trippy. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop where it gets super fucked up. I inevitably think it will happen. I think it'll probably happen, like, the next couple episodes. I'm sure. They're just trying to acclimate us to this world. And then I was like, okay, well, you got like dandelion mustachio men who have scissor hands that want to stab people's eyeballs out. So I'm just like, you're probably going to do that at one point. So we'll see. But a hell of an episode, chat. A hell of an episode. Your soul is mine.